Hello YouTubers, this is a quick session where I get to walk you through the process of upgrading your existing ASP.NET Core API to .NET 7. .NET 7 was just released a couple of days ago. You know, it comes in with amazing features, latest and greatest technology, security patches, much optimized for Blazor applications. We're going to have another session where we upgrade Blazor applications .NET 7, but I just wanted to try out, .NET 7 in an ASP.NET Core API backend, solution and see how that works out. So let's just go ahead and start with the installation process. In order for you to be able to do that, the first thing you want to do is we want to go to the .NET install kind of page, and then you want to go into all the .NET downloads in this version here. Let's see, we have .NET. Here you go. So there's the .NET 7, right? You can find this in the download .NET, and if you click on .NET 7, the one that's out there now is the very first preview version 1.22.11.04. This is the preview, and it's ready to be utilized. Using things like this is really important. I'll talk to you a little bit at the end of this video about why we're doing that. Okay, so .NET 7, you're gonna click on the Windows installation. It's gonna install it on your system. You want to verify that .NET 7 is installed on your system. All you gotta do is just basically go and say, here's my command line right here, and all I really gotta do is just go and say .NET, right, and then list SDKs or something like that. There you go, list SDKs. Boom, it tells you that you have .NET 7 installed right there. Of course, I've been doing that stuff from the very beginning, so you'll see all kinds of different versions in there. Don't let that scare you. If you have only 5 or 6 installed, that's fine. You're just fine. Okay, so you installed that. Now let's go and get a really big, massive project. This project has over 6,946 commits. It's a massive project. It always has a lot of contributors. If you look at the statistics and the insights of this project, it's just going insane. Like, if you look at the traffic, just the traffic on this project, it's always someone working on the project in one way or another, and people are visiting this project from all over the world. So you can see people finding OSSS from all over the world. Has over 52 contributors, and it's massive. It has a lot of different APIs, broker services. It follows the standard to an extent, and it's running tests, and I'm going to show you now what that looks like. Okay, on your normal Visual Studio, you don't have to get a preview version or anything, but if you have the preview, that's fine. On Visual Studio, you can get the master branch, and let's run some tests just to make sure that our system is running. So there's acceptance tests. These are the end-to-end tests. They actually go hit. It's I/O intensive. It actually hits the database, and then it comes back. This is just us making sure that the project is in good state before we do anything at all with this project. So here's the project running, hitting 4 endpoints. Every single light bulb that you see here for the test, it's hitting between 3 and 4 endpoints. The CRUD operation, add, create, retrieve. Delete, of course, is outside of the box because you're cleaning things up, so you don't have to test delete. It's already there, or sorry, the get by ID, but everything else is there in terms of testability. So just 4 endpoints across all your controllers telling you that your APIs are in a very good, healthy state. Acceptance tests normally take a little bit of time because it's actually imitating an actual user that's using the system, so it's going to have to do all these hops, in order for it to get to a final state and verify that the data is actually there, and also clean up the data and all that kind of stuff. Let's give it a second there. Here we go. Here we go. Okay, perfect. So this guy's up to date. That's fantastic. And then let's also run the unit tests, right? So let's go and run the unit test in here. So the acceptance test took about a minute, give or take, just 1 minute. And these are a lot of tests, like 103 endpoints, running, 1 minute. And then let's see, we have 1,414 tests, unit tests. These guys will be much faster. There you go, like 15 seconds, okay? Normally it's even a little bit less than that, but this guy is massive, like thousands, literally thousands of tests in there to test that. Okay, so the system is running. If I go and run this system, You know, just literally, if you clone how software projects are supposed to be, if you clone the repository and click play, it runs. That's all you need to do. There's no magic needed. You don't have to install anything, run some PowerShell scripts or none of that hacky crap that some people do, you know, to kind of get their systems running. So, you know, just plug and play. Here's all your components. Here's all the systems. If I go into, I don't know, get assignments and I want to hit an endpoint and click execute, it probably doesn't have anything in the database yet. It'll go and actually hit the endpoint and return. It works. Just, you know, clone, build, run, it works, right? That's what you get when you follow the engineering standard. Things are clean, are more visible and all that. Okay. So this is a massive solution that actually has things running in it. Now we're going to go upgrade this entire solution to .NET 7. So here's what I'm going to do. Let me hide the picture. You don't need the face, you know, you just need to. Okay, so I have all of these projects in here. What I'm going to do is that I'm going to go into the properties of these projects. I'm going to flip the configuration for the framework to .NET 7. Let's see here, .NET. No, actually, I was wrong. You need the preview version for this one. Hold on. So let's go into OSSS. Let's get that in the preview version of Visual Studio. Usually, I usually tell people stay with the preview version, you know, because this is how you get all the latest and greatest stuff. So it's definitely a good practice. Let me close the other one just so they don't kind of clash with each other and do crazy stuff. Let's close this guy. Here we go. And then let's go back to this guy. Okay, here we go. Okay, so here's my solution. I know things are up to date. Things are running great. It's actually interesting because with this version, I think the tests run a little bit faster. I think it was like 16 seconds when we ran the previous one, 16, 15 seconds. I think this one might take a little bit, or maybe that was when I already ran the test. Yeah, about 15 seconds. Okay, perfect. Now let's go and upgrade all of this. So I'm going to go into this project. And I'm going to go upgrade to .NET 7. So this is .NET 6, here's .NET 7. So this project is upgraded. I'm going to also want to upgrade, you know, the build project, all of them. All of them are going to get upgraded to .NET 7. So I have about, you know, 5 projects in here. Each one of them does something for it's a real life project. It's a project that has all the little details that you need, provisioning, building, and soon we're going to, you know, build the release version, so it's also going to work like a charm. So all of these are 7, 7. All of these projects are upgraded to 7. And then solution-wide, I'm just going to upgrade all the libraries that we have in our system today, including the Entity Framework and all that, to kind of adhere to .NET 7. So let me close all that junk. Here we go. And then on the solution level, I'm just going to say manage NuGet packages for the entire solution. So this way I'm basically picking up all the libraries in the system and I'm upgrading all of them. You'll see it. It's already telling you, hey, you know, you have the preview version, upgrade all these libraries. So see how many of these you have. The Entity Framework 7 preview. Everything is ready for us to consume, right? So this is great. Let's go ahead and update all of that. Here we go. So far so good. Smooth and nice without any problems. Done. Look at that. The cleanest thing in the world, right? Because your project is clean. You're not doing crazy hacky things. So automatically your system is going to be clean, right? So now let's just build the solution. You know, let's make sure that this solution actually runs. And then we're going to run our tests. And then we'll be done. Technically done. Because we need to actually change our build. So 5 projects succeeded, right? Tons and tons of files in this system. And that's how easy it is. You can upgrade. Now let's go ahead and run acceptance tests and unit tests and all that good stuff. So here's our acceptance. Let's see if this .NET 7 actually is actually as fast as they say it is. The previous one took about a minute. Do you remember? Let's see how long this one is going to take. Here we go. So I see a failure. That's not good. Let's see. Actually, you know, multiple failures is a great thing because that basically means it's just one problem. There's only one problem. So what is this? Issue response, internal server error, exception, builders, metadata, index builder. What is all that stuff? Let's see. I know that there are frameworks. Of course, there's API changes and stuff like that. Let's see what's going on here. Let's do this together. So method not found, right? So assignment, this logic. Let's zoom out a little bit just to see what's the deal here. This guy is saying service not available. Okay. Why is that? What about our unit tests? Let's see if our unit tests are also experiencing problems. Let's run our unit test real quick. I saw 6.9 seconds. I was like, "Oh my lord, this is crazy. This is perfect." There we go. Okay, so the unit tests are done, but it's taking a little bit longer though. It took about 18 seconds. The previous one is 16 seconds. So why is this one taking longer? There might be something missing there. It's definitely in terms of execution, it's super fast, but I'm still saying 18 seconds versus the system being on .NET 6, the final release. There might be a few things that need to be hashed out in there. Now we just need to figure out why our acceptance tests are not actually functional, right? So this guy is saying, you know, the entity framework metadata builders, index builder, identity. Let's see here what the problem is. Do I actually have my entity framework up to date? This guy is kind of important. Include pre-release. Yeah, this guy is up to date. Then what's the problem? The argument, logic, and in here it's basically saying I'm trying to communicate and I'm not able to. So if I run this guy, let's just run this guy and see what's actually happening. It could be something in the setup of the API itself, and I want to solve this problem with you. So let's see how that works. So here's assignments. Let's go and do get assignments. Try it out, execute. And here's exception user unhandled. Method not found. Method not found. Index builder. Wow, what is that? View details. Method not found. Entity framework index builder. Okay, let's go find out what that means. Here we go. Okay. This is pretty much the error. And how long ago? Oh, that's a really old error. What's the root cause? This break. On preview 6 and getting similar error. This usually indicates that some packages are coming from one preview, while others are coming from different preview or previous release. Make sure that all packages come from the same preview release. This is happening to me. I get the same exception in memory. However, we can't just make all the projects reference the same version due to incompatibilities with version blah. I can't get around the current blah. So is our packages are not all, sometimes like if we're going too early, sometimes not all the packages are on the same page. So let's see what's happening. At least if we can make sure that the entity framework ones are, you know, consistent, then that should be good enough. So let's see what's installed here. So we went and said JSON entity framework preview. Let's minimize this guy just to see the world. Okay, so this is the 220766. Okay. What about the SQL one? Same. So these two are the same. Entity framework tools the same. Designer is different. And I don't know if we even need that guy, you know, to make this work. But let's see here. So this seems like a common mistake that happens when people upgrade. Let's see. So what if I downgraded the designer? Just out of curiosity. Okay. So the designer is still crying, but that's okay. We just want to know if it's the problem. The designer has a different version. It's not up to date with these changes. Let's see if it's the problem. I highly doubt it though, but we'll see. Same problem. You know, we have an exception, HTTP internal error, problems happening. Okay. What else can we do to this solution to make it work? Manage NuGet packages, installed. So we know for sure that this is an Entity Framework thing, right? So let's downgrade the Entity Framework. It's not ready yet. Let's start from the bottom here. So let's go to 6.2, upgrade. Okay, so this guy is done. Let's get to the next one. So tools is done. Let's get SQL Server down to 6.2. Update. There we go. And then let's downgrade this guy. And I think that would be the last one. If these guys still fail, then we probably have more work to do there on that realm. Let's see. Let's see. There we go. Aha. So Entity Framework is not ready yet. Okay, fine. Let's go ahead and do this. Let's run all our acceptance tests. Can we get any performance though? That would be nice. Like the last one took about a minute. This one seems to be inching towards that direction as well. Let's see. 27 seconds, 31. Come on, come on. Here we go, here we go. Here we go. We got 0.8 second compared to the previous run, which was a lot faster than that, like a little bit slower. So I guess on the unit test level, you're becoming slower for some reason. On the acceptance test level, you're becoming not much faster, but you know, one 1 second, I will say 1 second faster than you would, and that's pretty interesting. It will be interesting if I run a perf, .NET perf, and see, how that looks like. That would be very interesting as well. So there we go. I'll just run it one more time because I really want to make sure. But this is in no way, shape, or form. This is a performance test. If you want to run a performance test, use .NET Benchmark, to do something like that. But that's definitely interesting. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. 52 seconds. I guess it's a little bit faster, with .NET 7. Anyway, so I guess we'll wait on the Entity Framework a little bit, before we upgrade this one. I don't think it's ready yet, but the rest of the system is already up to date, which makes me really happy. Now let's just create one more thing. In the build of the system, we need to kind of generate a new build and see if we can. I wonder if I wonder if the GitHub build has that version already there. It probably is, but we'll see. So you see in the build area here, we write our build in C#. We don't have to learn YAML or any of that stuff. Not needed, right? So if I go here and say include pre-release equal true, so now I'm including pre-release because this is a pre-release, right? And then I'm gonna run this guy just to generate a file, a nice file. This file here, you will see it here in the things that we generate. Look, now the file says 7.0.100, and I'm just gonna go here and say config upgrade to .NET 7 preview, whatever. Now let me create the branch first. New branch. Here we go. Users Hassan Habib /config dash upgrade to .NET 7. Here's our guy, and then I'm just gonna push that pull request. Now let's see what that pull request is going to look like with our GitHub, kind of build, because this guy's going to use the existing, the build here looks a little bit different because it's going to use existing capabilities, and it's going to break a lot of things. People that don't have the Visual Studio Preview or don't have .NET 7 installed, they're going to have to install these as requirement now. And that's the thing about the projects that my team and I work on, really on the open source space, is that we make sure that you're always on this bleeding edge in terms of technology. You're almost trying new things, learning new things. You're the visionary vanguard. You're the trailblazer. You're ahead of everybody else, trying to see what it's really like to upgrade to .NET 7. So let's see. Let me upgrade this real quick. Let's go. See, I didn't transcript. This is not scripted. This is just trying things off and trying to solve the problem with you in real time to see how long it really gonna take an engineer to upgrade a massive ASP.NET Core API into .NET 7. According to this video, we are inching towards 24 minutes. Not too bad, right? So let's go into the details here just to see what the build looks like. My hope here is that the build is going to say welcome to .NET 7 or something like that. So let's see if that's the case. Here we go. Set up .NET, adding current process, .NET install, .NET. Ooh, look at that, .NET 7 right there. So this is great. We're in .NET 7 now. Now it's going to run all the acceptance tests and the builds, and we're done. That will be all. There we go. Here we go. So you see the entire process, this also includes the pipeline, but there's also one more process that we're going to need to include in terms of provisioning. But since we're not deploying this yet, I don't think we have to do that. But if you have the provision project, you're going to need to go into your cloud app service. Where is our app service? Web app in here. And we're going to need to include, parse.NET version 7 in here. And I'm going to show you that, eventually in some video. I'm going to try to show you that. Running this on .NET 6, might be backwards compatible. It might work, might not. We'll see. But you're going to need to also do that step in terms of release. As soon as Sri and I finish up the release piece in A.NET library, we should be easily able to kind of start deploying this and actually build the entire pipeline from an idea to a model to code to pipeline to build to provision and all the way to production. So let's just see here the situation with the tests. Come on. Are we the very first people to get GitHub microchips warm with .NET 7? That's pretty cool. What is this thing saying Amazon? What is this? Program files Amazon AWS CLI V2 program files Amazon Session Manager? Well, that's weird. Do we have Azure in here? Oh yeah, we have Azure CLI. So is this like for all the different? Oh, here's ODBC. Wow, what is that? Service Fabric cluster. Interesting. Gecko drivers, Selenium drivers. Interesting. I don't know what's happening behind the scene, guys, but I see Amazon. I see Azure. I see ODBC. Do we have Google? Nope. Do we have Oracle? No, we don't. Okay, so just Azure and AWS. All right, that's fair. Okay, let's wait for this thing until it finishes and call it. You can just call it. Here we go. It's taking a little bit longer. It's about 2 minutes. Let me hide the camera here. Takes about 2 minutes 55, 59. Okay, I'll keep that guy running. Anyway, the point here while it's building, what I'm trying to, demonstrate here is that how simple would it be to upgrade to the ASP.NET Core application? It doesn't seem that the Entity Framework is ready yet, and that's okay. You're going to have to be able to maneuver and work with backwards compatibility to still get your stuff running, and once you can upgrade to that next version, so we did the entire, debugging process together, so we can just see how would I approach, upgrading a certain ASP.NET Core application to .NET 7. The other thing that I want you to really, focus on is that in order for you to learn new things, you're going to have to always live on that bleeding edge side of things. So always make sure you're there, trying and building new things with the latest and greatest technology so you get the benefit in terms of, security patches and all that. Not much on performance, not just yet, but hopefully at some point in time, they will tune in, the capability so we can kind of enjoy this new platform and, leverage C# 11. I guess there will be C# 11 coming soon, so that's going to be great. I see a little bit of movement here on this guy, so hopefully it'll just get started real quick with, yeah, there you go. So the build started. This is beautiful. Here we go. I want to make sure, you see the whole thing from the beginning of thinking about, oh, I should upgrade to .NET 7 all the way until it's fully completed and upgraded. Let's just give it a second there. In terms of C# 11, while we're doing this, C# 11 should be shipped with. So as this was published literally 1 day ago, and you'll see a lot of the new things that are coming in with C# C# 11. There's a list pattern which I really like and enjoy. I think it's a pretty cool pattern. It's basically saying, okay, you can explore list patterns. Consider this. So you check switch, and then you have the values, and you're saying if my list, has this pattern all the way to 10, I don't care about the other values. Very interesting. Very interesting capabilities are coming. There's also more pattern matching. I mean, C# is turning into Scala, really. What about this parameter null checking? I don't know how I feel about this one. I'm not gonna adapt to this one yet, but there's definitely some interesting things there that to look at and consider. Yeah, a little bit more about and then note the design. Yeah, this is very interesting. There will be there's a lot of like interesting capabilities that are coming to C# 11, but just because there's a new capability in a language doesn't mean they have to use it. But you definitely leverage the frameworks, right? If there's a new framework, a framework comes with a lot of good capabilities, and it's totally worth trying it out and seeing what you can do with it. Whether you can leverage it for your business, get faster, get better, get more secure, or just simply be there in that zone. So let me just get this in. Yep, the build is done. I have a fully healthy completed pull request. And then just like as soon as I merge this, everyone on this project is going to have to upgrade to .NET 7. So I'm sorry guys, this is inevitable. Here we go. We're merged, right? So this guy now is running on .NET 7, and just I appreciate you actually watching me for 30 minutes to upgrade the library, but I wanted to walk you through the whole experience without I didn't try this before. You know, it just popped. I just saw that and it says it. That's about the time, and that's exactly what we're gonna do. As usual, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, compliments, feel free to drop a comment in the comment section. And as usual, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in another video. Take care.